mean, good for Agnes, right? She needs to live a little. Life's been tough for her, so she can hang out with the teenagers and the adults in the hot tub. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Heathwyn and we are back today to play some more of our Whimsy Stories Legacy Challenge with our second generation sim, Wren, who is still a teenager but getting very close to being a young adult and moving out onto her own and starting her own life. In our last episode, we had the twins, Poppy and Forrest. They learned how to ride their bike. Grove went through and finished things off with her midlife crisis, so she is done with that. She is back to doing freelance crafting, kind of working on that a little bit to get some money, because Wren has also applied to university, and she did receive quite a few scholarships. We still don't know if she has been accepted into university just yet, but fingers are crossed that she will be. As she's going into the education career, she's hoping to be accepted into Foxbury with a distinguished degree in psychology. That's her hope and her goal. So hopefully in today's episode we will get that acceptance letter, because she's definitely feeling some tension around that. And so with that, let us go ahead and jump into game and see what all is going on. It is a Tuesday morning. It looks like Poppy and Rowan are starting to wake up and get ready for their day. As I said, our second generation sim is Wren, and she has the super parent aspiration, which is her aspiration per the rules. Her traits are perfectionist and unflirty. She has also completed the whiz kid aspiration as a child, so she has the mentally gifted trait, as well as the chess master trait because she became captain of the chess team, and the high flyer trait because she completed the goal-oriented teenage aspiration. So Wren is very much been a high achiever, and that's why she's feeling super tense about awaiting this university application. It's been something that she has been looking forward to, something that she feels is important for her, and she's feeling that pressure quite a bit to get into university, and so she's just really nervous about it. But looking at the calendar, I think in today's episode, we will definitely be aging Poppy and Forrest up into teenagers, and we may age Wren up into a young adult and just get her moved out. It's just gonna kind of depend on how things go today with gameplay and what all is happening. But we may see several birthdays, and we may see Wren embarking on her own. Now, Grove was our first generation sim and the founder of the Whimsy Stories Challenge. She was married to Alex. Alex passed away while they were on vacation in Mount Komorebi. Wren was their firstborn child and is the heir for Generation 2. Rowan is the second child. He was really the only one of the 4 children that was planned. He was the only one that was like not a surprise. And then later in life, kind of unexpectedly, Grove got pregnant a 3rd time and had the twins Poppy and Forrest. We just had a pop-up of a new family dynamic of jokesters. Cue the punchline. Forrest and Grove just can't stop cracking each other up. It's always a hoot when these two are in the same room. So should we have Forrest and Grove become jokesters? I mean, why not? Forrest kind of seems to be a little bit of a jokester. That kind of seems to be in his personality. He's a social butterfly, but also a loner, which is kind of interesting and has been a unique combination for him. But he's also has a jokester dynamic, I think, with Rowan as well. Yeah, so he and his brother Rowan are also jokesters. And the same thing with his twin Poppy. Now, as it is kind of getting to like the end of everything with Wren, we're going to just go ahead and send her and Rowan to school by themselves. And we're gonna take Grove to the makerspace so that she can do some more fabricating and some making, as I do want Wren to have some money to take with her when she goes to university. Besides just scholarship stuff, I want her to have a little bit to get started on, so she's not necessarily living, you know, with a tent and a bush like Grove began. I don't think she'd be opposed to that, but I'd like to give her, you know, maybe a tiny home to begin with. She certainly grew up in a tiny home. She is not going to want a tiny home, though, for the rest of her life. And we will see that as we kind of start to play through her story as well, that she is going to be very different in that regard from her mother. So everybody's gonna go off to school. We're gonna have Grove pick up a new gig. We're gonna do This Is Not Fine. The one, it pays 2,000 simoleons. So we're gonna pick the one that pays the best. So, and since we do have a computer, it's here in the twins' bedroom, which You know, Grove isn't a huge fan of going into because it's kind of tight, it's kind of cluttered. You know, they're kids, they just kind of have made a mess and left it. But she's gonna go in and use their computer to chat with their client, and so she can get a good idea of what they want. She's got to make some fine wall decor, and that'll give her some good money. Uh-oh. Grove just got a call from the school, and when answering a question, Wren used forbidden words, and it really shocked the teacher. And Grove really isn't okay with her kids like being like that and being disrespectful. And this isn't really super in character for Wren either, but maybe as Wren is getting older, she's kind of like experimenting a little bit. She's very close to being a young adult, so maybe she was just thinking, well, you know what, I'm almost done with school anyway, I can say whatever she wants. But Grove is gonna be like, oh no, punish away. She doesn't get to talk that way. And the good thing is Wren's manners are now in range to earn the good manners trait, and Grove is getting another phone call, also from the school, this time about Rowan. Rowan was caught using his phone to look up answers during a quiz today, and he got sent to the office. And I think that Grove isn't going to be so harsh to say that he should fail the quiz. I think that she's going to have him retake the test with no phone. Grove really kind of had a hard time coming back to the makerspace after Alex passed away, because they would come here together a lot. While Grove was working on her fabrication and making objects for the home and candles, Alex would dive in the dumpster and try to find items that they could either recycle or repurpose for their home. So for Grove, coming back here has kind of been a challenge. Right, so that was a good thing. Grove got 3,120 simoleons from that. So she got a sizable tip, which is kind of nice. Let's see, is there anything else that will bring in good? We have a candle one for 1,600. Oh, here's another 2,001. So she's gonna do that one more time, do some more wall art. That seems to be actually kind of the best way because it's a lot of money. She seems to do pretty well with making tips. And then it doesn't take a long time to fabricate that either. So it's a pretty fast way for her to make money. All right, same success for Grove with the second one. So very good. We're gonna take Grove back home, and then that way she's there when the kids get home from school. The kids have come home from school. The kids are doing really well, although Rowan seems to need to put in some extra effort. He's the only one who really is not doing the best in school. He has a C, the others all have A's. And I think, so Wren is definitely feeling anxious about her university application. So I think let's have her check her application status on the computer, and she can see, you know, are they still trying to decide? Has she been accepted? Like, what is going on? Because I think she's definitely feeling uneasy about all of that. The application is still going through the system. Check back soon. So poor Wren she is feeling so anxious and so nervous. I think she was really hoping that she would get an early acceptance and she would just know, but she doesn't yet, so she's got to keep holding on. Wren is going through a phase. Wren is feeling distant and will prefer to be alone for a while. So that doesn't really surprise me, as she is getting a lot older and she is starting to think about being out on her own. And so I think she's starting to kind of withdraw from her family a little bit. You know, she still struggles a lot with the loss of her father. She and Alex were really close, and the fact that she isn't really getting along well with her brothers. Grove went through a really difficult time with her midlife crisis, and Wren, I think, just really kind of feels like she is alone. And she did actually get a milestone for a childhood phase. Oh hey, Poppy has maxed her motor skill, so good job for Poppy. So Wren is working as a retail employee. That was part of her goal-oriented aspiration, is that she needed to have like an after-school job. She did the chess club, and then she started this after-school job. And so Wren is hopeful. The customer stepping up to her support desk already looks a little defeated. I'd like to return this, but I don't have the receipt, she mumbles. Wren starts to point to the no receipt, no return sign, but it's so refreshing not to be screamed at. Shouldn't she be nicer to people who are nice? So Wren can either accept the return or deny the return. Wren is kind of a bit of a stickler for the rules. Like, she's a perfectionist, and so she really kind of follows things through to the letter. So I think she's going to deny the return. The person probably isn't lying, but Wren mutters something about store policy and turns the customer away. Wren's manager watches the customer go and grumbles, "Nice try, lady." He compliments Wren's good work. Doesn't feel good though, and Wren did get a small performance gain. So this could actually be something that Wren needs to really figure out through her life. This need and her desire to be perfect in everything and follow all of the rules versus kind of what her instincts tell her about kindness and generosity. And I think this could be a real struggle for her in the future. Well, it worked out because Wren did earn a raise, so she'll make an additional 10 simoleons per hour with a grand total of 58 simoleons per hour. Honestly, that's a pretty good wage, Wren. Good job. Right, so we've had another family dynamic pop up happen, and this one is difficult. So when it comes to authority, some younger Sims just do not know how to respect their elders, and it's certainly looking that way between Rowan and Poppy, which is, I mean, it kind of does make sense because, like, I could see Rowan trying to be like, I'm the older brother, and Poppy's like, yeah, but you're still my brother. You're not my dad. And maybe that's part of what's been some of the conflict that's been happening with Rowan is maybe he's kind of felt like since Alex has passed away, he's kind of almost had to step into a paternal role, especially with Grove having struggled the way that she did with his death. So I think we're going to say yes, that Rowan and Poppy have a difficult family dynamic. What is interesting though is that he does have the jokester dynamic with Forrest. So he isn't like that with all of his siblings, just with Wren and Poppy. And maybe he's having like a touch of a misogynist bit going to him, like he feels like he's got to protect his sisters. And they're like, we are strong and we can do this on our own and you don't need to be protecting us. All right, Forrest has come up and said, last recess, no one wanted to play with me. I just climbed around on my own. If that happens again, what should I do? I mean, he is kind of a loner sim, so I don't know that he'd really have a huge problem with this. But I think that Grove would tell him to go and ask the other kids if you can join in. You know, she knows he's a bit of a loner, so I think she's going to encourage him to try to be like as social as he can be and kind of get over that. Right, kids are all off to school. Grove wants to do another round of fabrication and then she's gonna come back home. She's not gonna do as much today. She's gonna come back home afterwards and make a birthday cake for Poppy and Forrest. Right, Grove finished her fabrication, so she is going to head back home. She wants to make a cake and have that ready to go for Poppy and Forrest because it is their birthday today. They will be teenagers. So she's going to make them a chocolate cake to celebrate their birthday. Right, so a new personality trait has popped up for Grove. She's been feeling really cheerful lately. You know, her midlife crisis has ended, and I think she's starting to feel a little bit better about things. And so we're gonna say, yeah, Grove can embrace the change and feel cheerful. I mean, really, all things considered, the midlife crisis has added a lot of depth to Grove. She became more self-assured as a result of it. She's now feeling more cheerful. So these are all really positive things that have kind of come about from Grove's midlife crisis. It was really rough for her, like, when she was going through it, and obviously a lot of it was triggered by grief. But she's really come through it and is trying to make the best out of everything. Right, so the kids have all come home from school and we do want to celebrate Poppy and Rowan's birthday. And I think though, especially because Forrest is a lot more of a loner, they're not gonna like have a big birthday party for them because that's not really his thing. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and get them both aged up and get them to be teenagers. We're gonna start with Poppy. So Wren is performing superbly. She can graduate early if she talks to the principal or uses the computer. I mean, she only has one day left of high school, so it's not like super early, but at least we know that she's done well enough to potentially graduate early if she so wanted. All right, so Poppy has aged up and is now a teenager. Now, Poppy was a rambunctious scamp as a child, and she was also really neat. She's also gotten along really well with Wren. She really enjoyed riding her bike and doing things like that. She really enjoyed their vacation to Mount Komorebi, minus her dad dying, and like skiing and snowboarding and doing all of that. So I think we're going to make her active, and then maybe she's going to become an extreme sports enthusiast. I can kind of see that with Poppy. She kind of has this like fearlessness about her. You know, she was the first one to figure out how to ride a bike. She had no problem with the slopes. It didn't matter if she fell. She picked herself right back up and kept going. So we're gonna choose that for Poppy. And we will give them both a makeover once Forrest has finished his aging up. Because this hair is not working very well. It's white. Alright, so let's have Forrest come and he can also age up. So Forrest has aged up as well. And he has like a jokester dynamic with most of his family. And he did seem to kind of be one who cracked a lot of jokes. So I kind of want to give him the goofball trait. He's a loner and he likes to be on his own, but he's also a little bit goofy. And I think that that's okay for him. As far as an aspiration though, I gotta think about this one for him. You know, maybe he'll be creative and he'll do something creative. I don't think he would be an actor because that's like too much in the spotlight, but maybe he would be a writer and maybe he'll like enjoy writing funny books. He definitely doesn't want to be in the spotlight. He wouldn't want to be a comedian or an actor or anything like that, but maybe he'll write and he'll kind of write silly stories or something like that. And that kind of works for him as a loner as well. So we're going to choose that one for him. Okay. And they have both aged up. We are gonna save the birthday cake because Wren's birthday is tomorrow in game, and I think we will be aging Wren up as well. But I do want to give these two a makeover. We have made over Poppy and Rowan. This is a Poppy. So she is an extreme sports enthusiast, she is neat, and she is active. And as far as Sims characteristics, she likes nature enthusiast, hardworking Sims, and high energy Sims, but she does not like egotistical Sims. And she likes small talk, physical intimacy, flirtation, discussing hobbies, and pranks, but she does not like deception or gossip. So this is Poppy's everyday look: her formal wear, athletic, sleepwear, party wear, swimwear, hot weather, and cold weather wear. And then this is her twin, Forrest. As a reminder, Forrest did have some hearing difficulties, so he does wear a hearing device. He is a loner, but he is a bit of a goofball. I think maybe being a goofball is kind of how he copes with him being a loner. His aspiration is best-selling author. As far as Sims characteristics, he likes funny Sims, rascals, and spirited Sims. It kind of goes along with him being a goofball. But he's not a big fan of like hardworking Sims or pessimistic Sims or cerebral Sims, which is really evidenced in the way that he has kind of interacted with Wren, because Wren is definitely more of a hardworking cerebral Sim. As far as conversation topics go, he likes discussing hobbies, and to no one's surprise, he likes pranks, jokes, and silly behaviors, but he doesn't like deep thoughts. He doesn't really like getting down and like thinking too hard and talking too much about the meaning of life with other Sims. So this is Forrest. Here's his everyday outfit: his formal, athletic, sleep, party, swimwear, hot weather, and cold weather wear. So those are the twins. So with these new added things, we see that Poppy has amazing compatibility with Wren, which is really unsurprising. These two have really gotten along very well like the entire time, and they've always been really close with each other. She also has amazing compatibility with Grove. Neutral though with Forrest, and she's got good compatibility with Rowan. Kind of across the board, Poppy gets along with everybody. Rowan, though, is a little more difficult. Forrest has good compatibility with Rowan. He has this kind of neutral with Wren. I think he kind of puts up with Wren because, you know, she's his sister, but it's pretty neutral. The same thing with Poppy, which is surprising because they are twins, but they are very different twins. And he has amazing compatibility with Grove. So here's the fun thing that we can look at with Poppy and Forrest, right? Is we have a bunch of milestones that happened when they were a child, you know, things like learning to ride a bike, losing their tooth, the first day of school. And those are going to continue to fill in as they go through their teenage years, which will be fun because we're now starting to kind of see some of those milestones build and grow. And really, I am very much looking forward to seeing just that progress with Wren's children, because we have gotten to know Wren really well, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing how Wren's life as a young adult is gonna go and how she's going to grow and evolve through her young adulthood and parenthood and all of those things. Now, we are going to check one more time her university application status and see. We do know she could graduate early, but She ages up tomorrow, so there really isn't a reason to like have her graduate early because it wouldn't really matter. But we are going to check her university application status. And she got an acceptance letter. So very excitingly, she did get accepted into the Distinguished Psychology degree from Foxbury, which is the best degree for her going into the education career. She wants to be a professor, and so she is super excited to be able to go and attend Foxbury once she graduates from high school. So that's very exciting for her. I'm really excited that she's going to get to do that. Oh, interesting. Delightfully deceptive. Forrest seems to respect the skill it took for Rowan to craft such a devious lie. Deception can be hard to pull off, but it sure can keep a conversation full of fun and mischief. Could this mean that Forrest likes deception? Actually, I think it probably does. It really kind of fits with Forrest's kind of goofy personality that he has, as well as like the jokester dynamic that he has going with Rowan. So yeah, I think he's gonna like deception. Uh-oh. So Forrest wants to do some writing. So we may send him in to do that. And Poppy really is wanting to go back to Mount Komorebi. Now, I think for Poppy, this is kind of her way of coping with her dad's death. Obviously, there's some pretty strange feelings within the family about Mount Komorebi because they had gone there on vacation and that was where Alex passed away. And for some of the family, they just really want to never go there again and have nothing to do with it. But for Poppy, her way of coping with this is, I think, to go and embrace it and go back to this place and make it into something positive. So she's taking a different approach than, say, like Grove would. Grove never wants to set foot in Mount Komorebi again. But Poppy, on the other hand, feels a connection with the place and she wants to make it into something positive. Okay, Rowan is going through a phase. He's feeling very rebellious and will seek to challenge parental authority. So that is not surprising either. He's had a particularly difficult time with things with his dad dying too. And he's like not doing super great in school. He's not doing as well as he used to do. So he isn't doing all that well and he isn't really coping with things very well. So all of the kids are off to school. Wren is still at home kind of getting things around and getting things ready. Today is Wren's birthday. So today is the big day that our Generation 2 heir is going to be aging into a young adult and will be getting ready to move out onto her own. And since she knows that Wren is ready to kind of move out onto her own, she is going to get in one more gig and get things ready so that she can send her off with a decent amount of money to get started with. All right, Grove's gig was very successful, so she really has worked quite hard and has set up quite a bit of money aside, and she plans to send about 10,000 simoleons off with Wren when she moves out so that Wren has a little bit to get started on. She's got a little bit more than what Grove had going forward because Grove started with nothing, and Grove doesn't want her daughter to struggle in the same way that she had to, but she also wants her to value hard work and kind of have appreciation of building yourself up from very little. All right, the kids are home from school, and as we know, it is Wren's birthday, and I think that we can have a party for her. Now, she does have a pretty significant friends group with Melanie and Trayvon and Nani and Angela. They've all been really good friends for a long time. So I think she might have a party and celebrate with them. So we're gonna take the birthday cake and we are going to go and have a birthday party for Wren. They're going to have the party at the pool. It is summer, so it's quite warm. So they're gonna head off and have this birthday party at the pool for Wren. It's kind of her last teenage thing that she's going to do before she ages up into a young adult. All right, and everyone is here. So Wren is gonna talk to all of her friends and be like, I'm so glad that you came. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming and being here to celebrate my birthday. Rowan is like not happy to be here at all. He is enraged. He's going through a mood swing. He's feeling really rebellious and he's like, why do I have to be here for my sister's birthday? Like, I don't even like my sister. Why do I have to be here? And it looks like Forrest is also going through a bit of an issue because he is mortified. But he's gonna go do something about it and give himself a pep talk. And I guess Rowan's gonna try to calm down as well. So I guess they're making an effort to be a little bit supportive of Wren. Poppy, though, is really excited. She's like, happy birthday, Wren. I'm so excited for you. I'm gonna miss you so much, but I'm just so excited for all that you're gonna get to do. Okay, we do need a counter. So let's grab a counter that we can put out because we need that for the cake. So we'll just put this counter like right here. And then Wren can put her cake on it. So we're gonna have Wren come over and blow out her candles and celebrate her birthday into young adulthood. And so here we go. Wren is blowing out her candles. She is leaving her teenage years behind and she is going to be a young adult. All right, so as we know, her aspiration is super parent. She wants to have children, but she doesn't want a romantic relationship. So we're going to be exploring some adoption as well as the possibility of a science baby or some in vitro fertilization because because I do have the relationship and pregnancy overhaul mod installed and that is an option. So we might explore some of that as well and kind of just like taking all of these different options. Wren is going to acquire her children through a variety of means. But going along with the super parent aspiration, Wren is also family oriented. And so Wren, our Gen 2 heir, is officially a young adult. And she has graduated with honors, so congratulations, Wren finished her high school experience strong and graduated with honors. Those long hours have paid off, and now it's time to get paid. Starting a career in adulthood will start off with high performance, just like you did in high school. So Wren has officially become a young adult. And maybe we'll call everybody over to come and eat some cake and celebrate. But yeah, they're all hanging out now by the pool. It's evening, but it's still really hot because it's summer. And she's talking with Trayvon, who really is like her oldest friend. And then Poppy, who she has a really close relationship with and is somebody that I think we're gonna see continue to be involved and present in Wren's life going forward. The boys are just over here, like, doing their own thing. They don't really care. And Grove is feeling really happy as well. She feels like she's kind of regained some things about herself. She's feeling like she's discovered herself through life experiences. You know, she loves all of her family that is around her. You know, she's feeling like old times because she's with her family. I think she's struggling a little bit because Wren is going to be moving out and going off on her own. And obviously Wren is her oldest and her firstborn child. And she is going to miss having her at home. And this kid is swimming in the concrete. So that seems like a bad idea. Oh my, okay. So he's a little buggy. And Wren is so tired from her birthday, from everything that she has like been going through, that she has kind of fallen asleep on a floaty in the pool at part of her party. Okay, we have Agnes Crumplebottom and over here swimming in a hat and wearing a dress. Agnes Crumplebottom is swimming in a dress and a hat. Apparently she is not at all interested in wearing a bathing suit. She's just gonna like wear a dress. I guess that kind of is on brand for Mrs. Crumplebottom. Now she's come over and got in the hot tub with everybody. There's like a party happening in the hot tub. Oh my goodness. Complete with Agnes Crumplebottom. I mean, good for Agnes, right? She needs to live a little. Life's been tough for her, so she can hang out with the teenagers and the adults in the hot tub. So it is definitely late. The birthday party is now over, so we're gonna get all of the family back home. And in the morning, Wren will be saying goodbye to her family and moving out to start her life on her own and also head off to university. All right, so it is morning and it is time. Wren is having breakfast one last time with her family, and then she is going to be moving out on her own. So this is it. The time has come. Wren is moving out onto her own. She is going to move to Breachester so she can go to university, and we are going to take Roxy with us. So as per the rules for the second generation in the Whimsy Stories Legacy Challenge, the second generation always has to have an animal in the house, always has to have a pet. And so they got Roxy after Alex passed away, but Roxy is gonna go with Wren as she moves out and moves to Breachester to start her life. And as kind of a getting started gift, Grove is giving Wren 10,000 simoleons, so she has a little bit to get started with. She can start with like a really modest home and kind of go from there. So Wren has aged into a young adult and moved out, and with that we are ending the episode here. So the next time we get together and play, it will be with Wren on her own, starting life out in Breechester, going to university, and really getting into the nitty-gritty of everything that we need to do with that second generation of the Whimsy stories. So let me know what you think about, one, how Poppy and Forrest aged up, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of the dynamics that are starting to happen within the family as well. You know, the boys don't seem to get along with the girls very well, so that's kind of an interesting dynamic, but certainly Wren and Poppy are very close, and it'll be fun to kind of see how that relationship continues to develop as they age and as Wren starts to have her own family. I'm feeling a little bit misty-eyed about leaving Grove behind and leaving behind the house and everything, because it's been a long journey. We've gone through a lot with Grove, but I'm really excited to get into things with Wren and really just kind of get into Wren and Wren's life. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!